What's up, guys? Chris from Review here. Today I'm going to be giving you a double review. Two chapters from My Hero Academia, chapters 265 and 266. Now, originally I was going to do each chapter week by week, but I missed the chance to record and read the actual chapter last week. So I'm going to be doing a double review for this week, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So let's just start off from last time. So, in the last chapter, 264, Hawks is encountering Twice, and Hawks is takes on Twice and is using his Sadman's parade, and then he tries to take down as many of Twice's clones as possible as Dabi is running up sadistically up the stairs, waiting as if to kill Hawks. Which, yeah, I mean, Dabi is seen having his doubts from the very start of his meeting with Hawks, at the very start of Hawks' run on My Hero, when he made his first appearance after Pro Hero arc. So, kicking off from there, we end up getting more of the fight between Twice and Hawks. Hawks, while taking out as many as Twice's clones as possible, and pretty much like 1v essentially, taking on almost every single clone that Twice makes, and Twice does in fact try and make clones of the other League members to try and overpower Hawks using the cloned quirks. However, Hawks was able to use his feathers appropriately to slice right through them all. Now, the best part about this is that while all this is going on, Twice is pretty much going through another little breakdown, riddled with guilt over what has been going on. The fact that he kind of failed the League twice now. He led them to destruction. The first time was with Overhaul, and they lost Magne. Now they're all under attack due to the fact that he chose to trust Hawks with actual sensitive information. Now, the thing about this is, while Twice is in fact doing his best to hold off Hawks, Hawks is honestly, regrettably, taking on Twice. He actually does want to help Twice to be a better person, because despite all the shit that Twice has done, all the bad stuff he's done, and the fact that he's part of the League in the Metal Liberation Army, basically trying to go to war with everyone, he still sees Twice as a good person, as someone who cares for his friends and loved ones. So that does, in fact, give a sense of morality to Hawks, because for him, while he is a hero, it's not just a mission for him. He really does like Twice. He considers him a good friend, despite, lying to him for the past couple of months and straight up betraying him. I mean, I can't blame Twice for being mad. But either way, Hawks has played his cards right up to this point, and he is planning to take Twice alive and lock him up, rehabilitating him, because Twice's quirk can in fact work well in society. And Twice himself could actually be a better person. I mean, he's already a nice guy, but he could be a much better person. As this is going on, Hawks manages to take the opportunity and basically says that a villain who is cornered but refuses to give up is one of the dangerous things that could happen, because they will refuse to be taken alive. They will refuse to be captured to the very end. So Hawks might end up having to make the decision to kill him. So as this is going on, Hawks, after getting rid of a good chunk of Twice's clones and finds an opening, he takes his feather sword, slices right through Twice. Not killing him, gives him a good enough amount of damage for him to fall to the ground and get injured. And as this is going on, Hawks is going on like he doesn't let sentiment take control over the job, over his work, but he really does want Twice to just give up so that he can just be under arrest and this can be over with. Twice is refusing and trying to make a clone to try and get Hawks off him. In that moment, Hawks takes his sword and tries to stab Twice right through the head, right through his clone, until a big burst of flame comes through the wall, hitting Hawks, badly burning the left side of his face. And it's Dabi showing up, saying like, "What, you didn't expect me?" And yeah, Hawks didn't expect Dabi to show up, or any other League members to show up at all, due to the ensuing chaos. This leads us right into chapter 266, which is going to take up the rest of the video, if this wasn't clear. So we continue from where we left off. Hawks is right underneath Dabi after getting hit with a full force of fire. So as this is going on, Twice is kind of, being sorry for everything and blaming himself. Dabi's like, don't blame him. It's just, don't blame him Twice. It's fine. You were tricked it's no worry about it. Now, as this is going on, we do get to see Hawks try and fight off Dabi, and Dabi holding his own. Now, Hawks literally says that he cut a good chunk of Twice's tendons and muscles so that he wouldn't be able to move, and Twice is in a lot of pain. But Twice, like a champ, manages to try and crawl his way out of there to try and warn the rest of the league and maybe even save them and help them out. It was his quirk. So Dabi manages to push Hawks back, and Twice manages to get past Dabi. Giving a little high five to Dabi, saying like, Dabi's like, we won't blame you. Don't worry about it. But go help the others. Twice is like, you got it. But then he's like, straight out of nowhere, he's like, where'd Hawks go? And it turns out after being hit by that big gush of fire, Hawks, while with one wing singed and burnt, and he's himself is very injured as well and burnt, managed to fly around the building to the other side to try and hit Twice. Manages to get a good hit on Twice, but Dabi still ends up attacking him. This goes on for a little bit. Twice having an inner monologue to himself about how, in fact, he can help the league, how he sees them as friends and family, and how he's basically giving them bad luck. But looking at it now, he is a pretty lucky guy to the fact that he did make such good friends, and that he can help them no matter what, and they will love him no matter what happens. So, the one thing I do want to say is that at this point, Hawks, managing to slip away from Dabi for a sec, gets behind Twice, full-on serial killer slasher mode. Goes to slash his sword as Twice looks back. We see a gush of blood in Toga's handkerchief falling down. Hawks goes down to go straight to attack Twice as he's making a clone of himself. Now, the next scene is in fact Toga and Mr. Compress escaping a hero who has a quirk that's able to use some kind of sonar sense or high sensitivity to try and go on and attack and capture Toga and Compress. But once he captures him, Twice shows up and stabs the guy in the back. It wasn't the head. I think he stabbed him in the back of the head for an instant kill moment. So he does that, and they're like, "Oh, thank goodness you're here, man." Now, and Mr. Compress is like, "Quick, Twice, post haste, make more clones. We need to get out of here." But Twice is like, "I can't make any more clones. It's taking so much energy for me to keep this form together, to keep myself together." And it is, in fact, a clone. Turns out Twice managed to send out a clone to try and help out Toga and Mr. Compress. And was barely clinging on, because as you can see, this clone is starting to dissolve right in front of them. And the thing about this is that the Twice clone sees that Toga is injured and gives her a handkerchief while wiping off the blood. It's basically, going this whole "I'm sorry, I got us into this mess. I love you guys. I will never do anything to put you guys in harm's way." But giving all of his regret and everything, and goes to give Toga's handkerchief. Toga, basically seeing what's going on, gives Twice a nice hug and says, "Thank you for saving my life." And then the Twice clone disappears, and Toga's handkerchief falls to the ground. The end of the chapter. Now, look, I want to say this. For all we know, Twice is still alive. He may still be alive. Hawks may have just given him a mortal injury that basically knocked him out, and that's why his clone didn't have enough staying power. That's all we know. Or Hawks really did kill Twice. Because, as Dabi said, when Dabi was telling Twice to go down and help them, Twice had enough strength to make a couple of clones. Strong clones, because they all knew how strong Twice's quirk is, especially now after overcoming his trauma. He can, in fact, make a ton of powerful clones that could... He's Twice a one-man army. We all know this. The guy can make thousands of clones, even while he was injured. At this point, he could probably make a little less clones due to how injured he was with his fight with Hawks. But yeah. So, for all we know, Hawks might not have killed Twice, possibly just gave him a deep enough wound where it knocked him out from the shock, where he got himself knocked out from the shock of all the pain and blood loss. And then he was just able to send out that one clone to Toga. But the thing is, it wouldn't feel much like a war arc if everyone got out unscathed. So it's possible Twice died. We could see what actually happened in the next chapter, but Twice could have actually met his end right then and there. And I really did love Twice. He was a villain, but the League of Villains is amazing. I really do love all those characters. The thing you gotta know is that when villains and antagonists use the power of friendship, power of love in these instances to try and push past their limits and try and help the people they care about, that is good story writing, and those are compelling characters. And the way Twice was using it, and hell, even Dabi, was something that I really did enjoy. Something I didn't mention, I didn't mention as I was explaining what was going on, because I just want to say a bit more detail later on. So, okay. So, Twice managed to get away from Hawks, and that instance before when Dabi was attacking him was that Dabi managed to say Twice's name, which got Twice all shaken up because no one knew his name. It was Keigo Takami. And Hawks' shock of him knowing his name, that is something unexpected. So it does in fact show that since Hawks didn't go to any fancy hero course school by the time he reached 18 and started his own agency. He could have been raised in secret or possibly homeschooled by the Hero Association and the government just to create a very strong hero. So, yeah, the shock was enough to shake Hawks for a brief second for Dabi to get a good hit on him, allowing Twice to get away originally, and then leading up to the specific turn of events. Back when I was talking about 265 before, I was going to mention Tokoyami taking on Redestro. I just want to touch upon that before I clean up this review. When I end this review. So, the whole point with Tokoyami's new attack, Dark Shadow Ragnarok, was because they were in an enclosed space with almost no sunlight, thus making Dark Shadow a lot stronger. People are speculating why Redestro was KO'd by Tokoyami in one hit. For one, Dark Shadow is insanely powerful in the dark. There is no question. But the fact was that Redestro, despite being all stressed out with his quirk, as strong as the Hulk, from what I can tell, his robotic legs weren't enough to keep him steady. Thus, them breaking and him going straight for the wall, closing the rest. And then, as I was saying in my other reviews, whereas Gigantomachia, we see Gigantomachia is in fact right here at the mansion, sleeping. And this is where Fat Gum gives Tokoyami the info that Hawks was the reason they were able to do all this. And also that Gigantomachia won't move unless he gets orders from his boss, which is Shigaraki or even the doctor. So, with everything said and done, a lot of stuff is going on. Twice could be dead. Gigantomachia, finally we know where he is. And Hawks is very badly injured. And yeah, Twice is possibly dead. These last two chapters were insane. I know this is a longer review for My Hero Academia that I've done for a while, but a lot of stuff is going to happen. This is a really good war arc, and I cannot wait for what's happening next. And as much as I don't want Twice to be dead, it also wouldn't be a war arc if some major characters don't end up dying. But here's the thing: we still have more of the students to shine. We still have some other heroes that are going to have to show their worth. Not to mention this arc, we haven't seen Toga use her awakened powers yet. So this fact can actually come in handy, especially now that she's going to be even more motivated, thinking that Twice has died. But yeah, that's really all I got to say. For all we know, the next few chapters are still going to focus on the mansion raid because that's where the majority of the villains are. But I feel like very soon, maybe within the next 5 chapters or so, We might head back to the hospital for the conclusion between the fight against Endeavor and his team fighting against Gnomes at the hospital, and Mirko fighting against the High Ends. And the fate of Shigaraki, whether or not his surgery will be finished by then. But yeah, with all that said and done, that's all I really got to say about My Hero Academia chapters 265 and 266. Really good chapters, really good progression, and I loved the fact that Dabi knew Hawks' actual name when apparently no one else should know it, except for maybe a few people. So it could be the fact that he is Toyo Todoroki 100% confirmed, or 90% confirmed now. It's a possibility. I'm not ruling out that possibility, honestly. Dabi being Toyo Todoroki, while very, very possible, and everyone has been saying it for years, I don't want to rule out that possibility, even if some people are saying, like, this is just too very, I can't say it, it's just ridiculous. Too obvious. It's just too obvious. But then again, obvious isn't a bad thing if they pull the reveal off right and give some pretty good reactions. But yeah, that's all for this chapter review. I'm kind of going to be doing catch up for the rest of the videos with what I couldn't do last week. So hope you guys have an awesome day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the official review cave. Click the bell icon to get notified when I make new videos. And if you have any ideas for what else I could try reviewing, let me know in the comments down below. And hope you guys have an awesome day.